Welcome to the Town of Cary's Crabtree Creek Greenway Connector public meeting. We'd like to thank everyone in attendance for your interest in learning about this project. The team is very excited to share information about the Greenway Connector, including current progress, a timeline, and the preliminary design. The existing 1.7-mile Crabtree Creek Greenway project was built in 2018 and included a signature 730-foot-long concrete boardwalk over the leg of the lake being fed by Black Creek. This is a popular destination for Greenway users to take photos, enjoy the breeze, or cast a fishing rod. Our Greenway Connector project will provide a much-needed connection that closes the loop from the Weston Property Trail to Crabtree Creek Greenway. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to introduce the team involved in this project. We have the Town of Cary, which is responsible for the ownership and maintenance of the Greenway and Connector. Withers Ravenel is providing civil design, permitting, environmental services, and project coordination. Vicky Scurry Siteworks is handling artwork design and materials selection. Alpha and Omega Group is overseeing the structural design services for pedestrian tunnel and retaining walls. Geotechnologies is providing geotechnical investigation services for the design of the structures. Finally, Telex is in charge of right-of-way services. The scope of the project includes approximately 1,000 linear feet of proposed greenway connecting the existing Crabtree Creek and Weston Property Greenways. The connection under Weston Parkway will be provided by way of a 142-foot-long tunnel. The tunnel will include a tiled surface, hand railings, and lighting. Cast-in-place walls will include a stamped surface with 3D artwork. A connection up to Weston Parkway is also proposed. Because this is a federally funded construction project, the development team is required to submit a Natural Environmental Policy Act categorical exclusion. This process should demonstrate that the project will not have a significant negative impact to the environment and the public, based on site reconnaissance, regulatory records review, a State Historic Preservation Office Historic and Cultural Resources Review, Natural Resources Review and Hazardous Materials Screening, and a summary of stakeholder meetings and community outreach. The project is located south of Lake Crabtree between the MetLife, NC Bar Association, and Lucy Daniels School facilities. It is approximately half a mile west of Black Creek Greenway and includes access off the Weston Parkway westbound lanes. The Town of Cary prides itself on their extensive network of greenway trails, which connect people with nature and with themselves through peaceful environmental scenery. The project goal is to provide a safe connection to greenway users for access to commuting, exercise, work breaks, interconnection between businesses, other Town of Cary greenway trails, workplaces, shopping, and cultural resources and recreation. Here is a stretch of the existing Crabtree Creek Greenway. This is another stretch of the existing greenway network. The project team has prepared 3 initial concepts to share with you today. The first concept is an at-grade crossing with a hawk pedestrian signal. The safety concerns for this concept included disruption to the traffic flow and the potential for drivers traveling above the posted speed limit, both of which are not inviting to families with younger kids. The second concept we'd like to share is a sidewalk extension to Norwell Road. There are 4 concerns with this concept. It requires the sidewalk to be extended to Norwell Road. It involves the removal of approximately 36 mature street trees. It results in the relocation of 17 light poles, as well as the relocation of other utilities, and it requires grading on adjacent properties along the entirety of the sidewalk. Finally, the third concept we'd like to share is a box culvert type tunnel. As with the previous 2 concepts, this tunnel presented some concerns, including a much more involved installation based on an open-cut trench and phased traffic control with lane closures and irregular traffic patterns. It also creates dry utility conflicts and causes traffic disruptions for an extended period of time. Temporary shoring would be required based on the phased installation, and extensive pavement restoration work would need to be completed after the tunnel installation. The current design is inspired by the Davis Drive Park Tunnel seen here. The White Oak Creek Greenway was completed approximately 2 years ago, and it includes a circular tunnel located at the Davis Park Drive crossing under the existing railroad right-of-way. This tunnel was built using the jack and bore method and structural liner plates. Our team met with the Davis Drive Park Tunnel team and studied the pros and cons of using a circular tunnel versus a rectangular tunnel option. During that evaluation period, it was determined that following this method and applying some of the lessons learned would make our project much more cost-effective and cut several months of construction time. This slide represents an overall view of the current site plan. It depicts the proposed Greenway Connector alignment in blue and the associated staging areas in solid red hatching. Note that the view has been rotated with north to the right. Left of the exhibit, the Greenway connects to the existing Weston Property Trail, then goes under Weston Parkway, and connects to the existing Crabtree Creek Greenway about 650 feet north of the tunnel exit. The project also includes a trail connection to Weston Parkway that will double as a maintenance access for town utility crews. The staging areas are to be used for deliveries, storage, and access to work areas for the duration of construction, which is shown with the purple arrows. These areas will be restored after completion of the project. There are several benefits to this design. There's minimal effect on traffic as the main factor. Tunnel installation by way of jack and bore to limit impact traffic during construction. With the implementation of this methodology, one lane in each direction will remain open at all times, and both lanes will be open most of the time. A circular pipe minimizes utility conflicts and offers a more cost-effective installation. This alignment presents an opportunity to follow an existing sewer easement to avoid creating additional clearing. Finally, the only relocations needed are the existing water and reclaimed lines, which need to be raised in order to provide proper clearance above the tunnel. The town of Cary will be rehabilitating major sewer lines that have reached the end of their service lives along Crabtree Creek Greenway and portions of Black Creek Greenway. Crabtree Creek Greenway will be closed from Evans Road to the boardwalk at the lake, as shown in this map. For more information about town projects affecting greenways in the area, visit www.carygreenwaydetour.com. Funding for this project has been divided up by phase. The town of Cary is funding the design phase, and the locally administered project program is funding the construction phase. The timeline for the project is as follows. Initial concepts and evaluation of options took place late 2018 to early 2019. The design phase began in fall 2019 and will continue through spring 2022. The permitting phase is expected to be completed in summer 2022. The bidding phase will take place in fall 2022. And finally, the construction phase will proceed from fall 2022 through fall 2023. After this neighborhood meeting, the next steps the project team will take are completing and submitting 60% plans, preparing the environmental document for submittal to the NCDOT, and going through the easement and right-of-way certification process. Art is an important aspect of this project, and the artist selected water as the inspiration since the project connects trail users to Lake Crabtree. The lake is a prime destination for people using the Greenway on a daily basis. The following images convey our inspired by water concept for the Crabtree Creek Greenway Connector. The project includes custom cast concrete walls suggesting water patterns and 8-inch by 8-inch Dow natural hue tiles to introduce a playful path through the tunnel, suggesting a wave motion. A pattern for the retaining wall faces has been selected and was approved by the Town of Cary Public Art Advisory Board on December 15, 2021. Also inspired by water, the walls are to be patterned with 3D panels designed and developed by artist Vicky Scurry Siteworks exclusively for this project. Here, you can appreciate the visual of the North Tunnel entrance, with representative figures of Greenway users to give a sense of scale and the welcoming feel the artist hopes to achieve. This view from the interior of the tunnel, facing south towards the Western Property Trail connection, gives us a realistic idea of the user experience. The tunnel will be lined with natural hue tiles that are placed in a very specific pattern to suggest a wave motion as users walk or ride through the tunnel. The tiles will cover the entire interior wall surface of the tunnel, preserving the original tunnel appearance for years and years to come, while also facilitating ease of maintenance by the Town of Cary. The floor surface will be concrete. Curved handrails intended to work more cohesively with the tunnel shape can be appreciated in this image. Overhead lighting along the tunnel is also included as required by the Town of Cary. We hope this presentation has provided you with an informative overview of the Crabtree Creek Greenway Connector project's current progress, planned timeline, and preliminary design. We will now open the floor for questions and answers.